Greetings, beautiful beings. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Aura. If you are new here, welcome. So there was no video last week, and that is because this video that I wanted to upload last week required me to go outside. And if any of you weren't aware, there have been fires going on in Washington, Oregon, and California for the past 2 to 4 weeks. It got really bad in the past 2 weeks, and for about a whole week last week we just had the worst smoke coverage and really unhealthy air quality. I'm living in the Seattle area right now, so all of those fires from eastern Washington and Oregon just went up and delivered their smoke over onto us, so I didn't really want to spend a lot of time outside. Also, going into talking about the fires, I have been just dealing with a lot of emotions and bad news. If you are familiar with my road trip that I went on with my boyfriend, go to my second channel to check out the vlogs. I'm still uploading them. We went and visited my grandmother, who lives in Northern California, in Happy Camp, California. And about a week and a half ago, I'm sorry if I might choke up a little bit because I haven't really talked about it a whole lot. My grandma's fine, just to preface that, but her entire property was burned and lost to the fires. I believe the fire that went through her area was called the Slater Fire, and it has burned over 180,000 acres of land and homes and businesses. It's still going on. As far as I know, the area that she lived in, it's evacuated, but I think that they were able to go back or at least check in on their homes, but it was confirmed that she lost her home, and I'm just very grateful that she is alive and that everyone who lived in her town that evacuated is alive. But it is very difficult to mourn a piece of land and a home. I have a lot of memories there growing up. I would go there every summer with my dad, every year, for a road trip to just go and see my grandma and my grandpa because their property was so beautiful. Their home was so beautiful. It had been in my grandma's family for generations, so she grew up there and acquired the house when she got older and just was living there. So that's kind of where my emotions have been. Other than that, I've been doing good. Just focusing on little routines to keep my mindset good and my mindfulness going. One of my sunflowers bloomed just yesterday fully. Very exciting. I'm going to be having a lot more sunflowers blooming in the next few weeks, if the weather permits. Thank you for listening to my emotions and my feelings. This video I've been wanting to make for the past few weeks now, and I finally did it, and I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. One of my favorite memories going to my grandma's property was picking blackberries and making a blackberry cobbler. And if I'm looking away from the camera, I'm sorry. It's just kind of my thinking zone. Yeah. So I used to make blackberry cobbler with her pretty much every time I went down there. I loved the recipe. I fell in love with blackberries. I always went during the mid to end of August, so the blackberries were super ripe and very sweet. So I decided that since I am now in an area where there are blackberries around me, because I was living in the city beforehand, that I would, if you can hear my cat, she's cleaning herself in the background, I'm really sorry. I decided that I was going to make a blackberry cobbler for the end of summer and an honoring to my grandma's property. And then I also decided to make some herbal bundles, which I actually have hanging right here. They're drying right now. Thank you so much for enjoying my content, and I hope you have a blessed day. I'm gonna get into the recipes now for the cobbler. So this pie I made is to honor my grandma's property, and it is also to honor Mabon, which is the autumn equinox fall celebration in pagan religion. It is essentially the end of harvest celebration, kind of similar to Thanksgiving. It honors the sun and everything that it gave us throughout the summer, and then preparing us for fall and the winter ahead. September 2nd through the 24th is associated with inner growth. This time for me is marked by the ripening of blackberries. Like their vines, our paths do not usually take a straight course. We can adapt and change our energies following the twists and turns of life. In the past few months, most of us have had to take drastic changes to our lives. It's hard for some to adapt, which is why I put together this video, to help rejuvenate and revive our souls for the cold months to come. I created this recipe for you all with the blessed fruit from my area, along with an herbal bundle you can use to bless your space and set the energy before beginning your rituals. When working with the natural environment around me, I really feel like I can honor myself and my ancestors and the natural environment that is around me and housing me and all of us. To begin, I'd like to talk about the herbal bundle that I made. This included cedar and pine that I wildcrafted from my area. Cedar, similarly to sage, repels negative energy while bringing in perseverance, growth, and enhancing your psychic abilities. Pine represents birth, abundance, health, fertility, fortune, and love. Bundle the herbs together, binding them with embroidery thread, either orange or red to represent the changing season. Hang them to dry about 4 to 8 weeks, depending on how wet they were when you first acquired them. And you can also put loose herbs in a cauldron or a plate and burn them that way. I picked these blackberries, and now I will be making them into a delicious cobbler to be enjoyed with my loved ones. This is the most simple pie recipe I have ever known. I love it so much, and you can use pretty much any berry or fruit and make it the same way. The filling is super simple. All it requires is your fruit of choice and sugar. Take your fruit and a cup of sugar and mix them in a bowl and let them sit for about 20 minutes or until you are done making your crust and everything else that you need for this recipe. The difference between a cobbler and a pie is that a cobbler has a crumble crust on top rather than a rolled out, smooth, thick layer, one layer of pie crust. Personally, I am not a crust girl, so this is perfect for me. It also doesn't have a usual bottom pie crust. This pie crust I like to hand press into the pie dish rather than rolling it out beforehand. I will be putting the exact recipe in the description, but all you need for the crust is flour, baking soda, butter, and a little bit of sugar. You want your crust to be wet enough to smooth out and push into the bottom of your pie dish. I like to do this by hand, and it just makes it feel even more homemade and unique. Once you have done that, next is time to make the topping, and this is even just as simple as everything else. It is just 1 part flour, sugar, and butter. The only difference here is that with the bottom crust, you will be melting the butter and putting it in that way, and the top crust, it is more of like pastry cutting butter into flour, so it is cold butter that you will either cut into your flour, or I like to use my hands to crumple it all together. Now that you have the filling, crust, and topping, it is time to assemble your pie. You're going to pile high your filling into the pie crust. I like to make it a little dome shape at the top, so shorter on the edges and taller in the center. During the assembly, I am saying in my head a small blessing that I am giving to these berries. Bless these berries I am blessed to receive. May the sweet life of the sun carry warmth and light into the darkest days. And then you are going to layer on your topping. I like to crumple everything around, but the trick is here to not let any of the fruit be showing, even if it means to cover it with the rest of the flour or a little bit of sugar here and there. You just want it really packed in tight and no fruit showing. Once you have your pie, you're going to put it in the oven for about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes, just until everything is cooked through, and then you will have a delicious blackberry cobbler to eat and enjoy and share with your loved ones. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy the blackberry cobbler if you choose to make it, or maybe you choose to make one of the herbal bundles that I shared. Either way, I hope you all have a blessed day. All of my links to my second channel, my YouTube account, Twitter, and Instagram will be in the description, and I will talk to you all in the next video. I hope you have a great day again. Thank you so much for being here. Bye!